welcome back to Overtime. Today we have Coach Rugg with us alongside forward Jack Muglia. How are you guys today?
Doing good.
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so you guys are coming off that tough loss in OT against Maine West. What are some key things you're taking away from that game?
Well, I think first and foremost, it was an outstanding high school basketball game. Two teams that really competed hard. If you look at the way the game went, there were a couple of runs that each team made. Some big shots that were made. I think some kids on both teams really made some plays that were critical for their teams. Obviously, you'd like to end up on the winning side of those games, but you look at it really as a growth experience and one that you can keep building on moving forward.
All right. Jack, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, so it's kind of just a growing experience, like Coach said. You know, we've been on the losing end of quite a few close games like that, so you know, we're hoping with all these experiences, we'll be able to come out on top, one of them.
Okay.
So with your season being about halfway done, what are some things that you want to adjust or get better to throughout the rest of the season? What do you guys think?
Well, I'll just start from the coaching side, and I'm sure Jack will take it from the player side of it. Really looking at the way the season's gone, I think one of the most important aspects when looking at it is, despite the record, this is a team that actually has scored more points than they've allowed. So in playing in so many of these close games, we talk a lot about identity. And I think that we just continue to build towards understanding the importance of those critical stops, those critical offensive possessions. And unfortunately, sometimes losing is a hard teacher, but we really believe that the boys are starting to get it and understand just how important each possession can be to try to finish a basketball game. And we think that's where we're trending towards.
I like it.
Yeah, so another big thing we talked about all the time is having energy in practice or even watching film and game time, stuff like that. So that's something we definitely try to build off of.
All right.
Cool.
Playing against Maine West at the Palatine tournament at the very beginning of the season, you guys crushed them by around 25. What changed between those two games that caused you guys to let them play with you and come out on top?
You know, basketball is a funny sport, and momentum is probably one of the key phrases and key terms. In the first time we played them, we jumped out to a lead right away.
Yep.
You could kind of see that the confidence in our guys, some of the unsureness on their players, and then ultimately that led to a really tough night for them. I believe in that game they shot 16%. Last night in the first half, they shot 8 of 9 from three-point land and made 11 for the game. If you want to make it as simple as anything, it could be they made some shots the second time around that they missed in the first game. So we thought that in both matchups, those were two really evenly matched up teams. We got them once in a blowout fashion, and then they got us last night. But I think last night is much more indicative of the type of game you expect when you get these two teams together.
Yep, definitely. So moving on to 3 with last night's game going to OT, what are your guys' thoughts on how you guys performed in overtime?
Well, I think, first of all, to get us to OT, we had a great stretch of a few possessions there at the end of the fourth quarter to you know, we were down a little bit, and just to get us back into that game and send us overtime with a couple of big shots was really impressive, I think. And so, you know, in overtime, we got out to a lead, I think we did, and then, you know, we kind of just let a few possessions go by. We didn't. I'm not sure we really, you know, just valued a lot of possessions down the stretch, and I think that was a big turning point.
Okay.
With our Rivals prospect coming up on Thursday this week, what is your guys' favorite part about playing in a rivalry game?
Well, from the player standpoint, I think my favorite part, especially a long-time prospect Hersey rivalry, is just the energy in the stands and the whole gym. Just it's really electric. You know, you see all the players, alumni, coaches, family, friends, anybody who's even in the town, not even a basketball fan, will show up to that game just support their team. And it's the same for our team. You know, we're going on the road, and I'm sure the OC will bring a lot of fans out there and things like that.
These kind of games are really what makes high school sports so awesome. No doubt it'll be a packed gym. There will be a lot of loud fans on both sides saying things that are mostly appropriate. But it's really cool. I mean, you know, Jack alluded to it in terms of it being a rivalry game. For a lot of these kids, they've played against each other since third grade AHYBA. You know, I'm kind of going through it both as a coach and as a parent. You know, my son plays on the 6th grade team, and we played Prospect a week ago, and it's probably the most animated I've been the entire season, cheering them on from the sideline, because you just kind of want to help the kids understand, like, this is a rivalry and what a rivalry means.
Yep.
So no doubt it'll be a great game, and we really hope to come out on the winning end of it.
Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. So moving on to 5. So you were you fell short at home against them several weeks ago. What are you going to focus on or work on to come out on top when you got the second chance against them? What do you think?
Well, I think one of the biggest pieces as a staff, as a group of players, is how hardworking and dedicated everybody has been to making sure that preparation is really that no stone is left unturned. The boys will be prepared for what Prospect's going to run, and we expect Prospect to be equally prepared with what is that we're going to run. So ultimately, when you have two highly prepared teams, it's going to come down to who can make a couple more energy plays and who's going to hit a few more shots. So hopefully the boys' legs recover over the next 24 hours here, and we put the ball in the basket a few more times than that.
All right. Jack, from other teammates, coaches, and seen in some other games, you were always known as the nitty-gritty type of player, and you're always going for the ball. Since you're not as skill-driven as some of the other players on the team, what do you think makes you stand out from the other players?
I think something that makes you stand out is just like my ability to not make those type of extreme athletic plays that some of our other guys can do. So I kind of feel like it's my job to like just give it my all like on those types of plays. So like if I can get a steal, get in the floor and pass it to a and then that leads to a dunk. Like I feel like that's kind of my job. Like that's my role as a player. If I can't make those plays, like I feel like I should be doing everything in my power to make someone else make those plays.
I think too, even looking at this question, it's important to quantify. Playing hard is a skill. I think that any coach who's been doing this for a while recognizes that there's a lot of different ways you can define a player having skill. And obviously it's great when you see sometimes the highlight plays, but sometimes from the coaching lens, you see what led up to that play or some of the other things going on off of the ball that led to us being successful. Jack is one of those kids who has earned minutes in the truest definition. He probably came into the season maybe number 15, 16 on the depth chart, and has forced his way in the conversation every game to being a guy who we talk about being out there on the floor. And that's purely because one of his greatest skills is nobody ever questions that you're going to get maximum effort and maximum intensity when Jack's on the floor.
Wow, nice. Congrats, Jack. So, Jack, you are also in choir, correct?
Yeah.
All right, so how long does that go throughout the year, and how is it fully participating in that while you're also focused in basketball?
Yeah, so it's a juggling act for sure. So that pretty much goes up until around early March or February. And so, I'll have practices every so often during the week, but we have also practice, and we get those scheduled every Sunday. Okay. So we'll sometimes have practice, like, right after school, and it ends at 5:30, and then I got to go over to that, and that ends at like 9 o'clock. So like I'm there pretty much at Hersey all day for a couple of days a week. So it's pretty hard, but just gotta make sure I communicate to everybody.
I like it. So that is the end of our questions. We got unscripted now, if any of you guys have watched it. So I'm just going to read you guys questions. Whatever first comes to mind, I want you guys to say it. So I've got some that I'm bringing over from the senior group, and then I got some new ones. So the first one, it is an old one, but if you had to pick out a walkout song, what would it be first to mind? Both of you guys.
Ooh.
Well, first of all, that assumes I would be a good enough player to actually get a walkout song, but probably like some of the stuff from the Rocky movies. Like I'm a big Rocky IV fan.
Oh yeah.
So some of the songs they use there during the training scenes.
Oh, I like it.
I could use that.
I like that.
I'd probably go with Sosa.
It's a big answer.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
All right, who's your celebrity crush?
Oh, jeez. I think someone else already said this, but I gotta go with Megan Fox.
Oh my God, 3 times in a row
so far.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry, I can go outscore that one. Okay. Since I'm a little bit older, I'm a big Seinfeld fan.
Are you?
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Oh, okay. I like that. I like that pick. So, who's the best president of all time? This one was given to me. They want me to ask you guys. So.
As a math teacher, can I plead the fifth that I don't know enough history to answer that question? I think George Washington is a pretty safe answer on this one. Maybe get the first one out of the way there, get that train rolling.
I like that.
Yeah, I gotta agree with him with that. I don't know too much about that.
George W. All right, this one was also given to me. If you were a flower, what kind of flower would you be?
I don't know, probably like a sunflower or something. You know, they're kind of like big and bright. It's like they look kind of cool.
Jack took my answer right there, so he's really put me on the spot with this one. I'm going to say I'm a rose. You know, I'm just always ready to bloom. So.
Oh, I like that. So if a movie was made on your life, who you could cast anyone in the world who would play you, who do you think that would be?
I think I would do. What's his? I'm blanking. Steve Carell. That's what I was thinking of. He's just my favorite actor.
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
There have been times that the students here at Hersey have said I look like Chad Michael Murray. I'll take that as a huge compliment. So we'll go with Chad Michael Murray for this one.
Okay. All right, you want to ask this one? I think this is
Which one?
Good to see.
Yeah. So, Mr. Rugg, of me being in your math class first period, me and some of my friends were wondering, what is your favorite math class of the day?
Oh, gosh. I am really, really fortunate that I have 5 great classes. All of them have their own unique personalities. Connor actually has a unique experience that he's been not just in first period now, but he was also in second period. But really saying what my favorite class is, I don't think I can answer that one. I like all of them. I think that, having been around me, I like to have fun in all the classes, and I think I'm just very fortunate that all of them respond well to us making sure that we learn some math, but we also enjoy the time that we have those 48 minutes together.
Oh. Do you have a favorite type of math, like algebra or something like that, or all kinds?
I feel pretty fortunate that I can teach pretty much anything. I do like calculus. I'm pretty good at it. That helps. But really, at the end of the day, I'll pretty much teach whatever I'm comfortable with, any kind of math.
I like it.
Also, I was telling Max last night that you're a big Randy Moss fan, and
I am, yes.
Yeah, and also big football fan in general. You even think Aaron Rodgers is better than Tom Brady.
I do. I'm a numbers guy. So you like the numbers, yes.
All right, can you give us some reasoning on that?
Well, I'll just go off of this. If you like a look at, let's say like postseason.
You're talking about Rodgers, aren't you?
Talking about Rodgers, like postseason quarterback rating. Mm-hmm. Rodgers actually just dropped under 100 for the first time in his career after his last game, but I think Brady's like in the mid-80s.
Is he?
If you take a look at some of the games that Rodgers has lost, I believe his defense gave up 45, 45, 42, 37, 37, and 42 points in some of those
numbers.
Championship games. So, sometimes, you've got to go beyond the win-loss. No doubt that Tom Brady's a great player. But if you ask me who has more just natural ability, more talent, I'd probably say Aaron Rodgers. Although once all said and done, Patty Mahomes might end up beating all of these guys out. So.
Why were you a Randy Moss fan as well?
So it's actually a pretty good story. I'll try and make it as quick as I can. I know we're running low on time. So I've been doing a fantasy football league with my buddies from high school since 1991. And it's been through a bunch of iterations, but one of the ways that we played it for a number of years is we'd have a keeper league with a rookie draft. And the one year, I was accumulating as many rookie picks as possible. And before the NFL draft even happened, I drafted Randy Moss. So obviously when he got selected by the Vikings, it was going to be the third receiver. I took all sorts of crap from my buddies. A lot of, you don't get points if he plays cornerback, all sorts of stuff. So then he came up and, pretty much tore it up right away. So I kind of got the last laugh with all that.
Oh.
But the reason I became such a big fan is I had a couple buddies who went to West Virginia University, and they were in fraternities with guys who actually went to school with Moss. Yeah. So I started to hear some stories about the guy that were very different kind of from how he was portrayed initially in the media. So I just became a fan once I heard some of those things, ways he interacted with kids in the school, kind of reached out and worked with some of the special needs kids in his school that he was at, heard some other stories. So just gave a different perspective, and I always just enjoyed watching him play. So straight cash.
Yeah. He's a good player. So who do you have winning, Jimmy G or Mahomes next week?
I got the Niners.
Niners?
For sure.
Niners. Jimmy G.
It's hard to go against Jimmy G, but I just I think Patty Mahomes may end up being the best quarterback of all time. So
you think so?
I'm going to go with the Chiefs on this one. It's probably not a real popular pick.
Oh.
Try not send that clip over to Rolling Meadows High School.
All right. So there was a big fight that happened on Saturday. Who'd you guys have winning, McGregor or Cowboy?
I didn't really know too much about it, but I know that somebody got rocked in that.
Yeah, Cowboy lost 40 seconds. McGregor attacked him.
Well, McGregor's looking for that big payday with Mayweather again, so he wasn't going to lose this fight. So.
No, he's got to win that.
Yep, definitely have McGregor in this one.
McGregor. All right.
So that's all we have for you guys today. Coach, Jack, do you have any shout-outs you'd like to say before we sign off to anyone?
I don't think so.
I think a big shout-out to the OC. We look forward to seeing you guys out here coming to support us at Prospect tomorrow night. Great environment. We need your guys' energy. We're looking forward to coming out of there with a W.
All right, be there tomorrow, and there's no girls game, correct? Just you guys?
That is correct.
Perfect. All right, be there tomorrow at Prospect. Hope everyone comes out.
All right, thanks everybody for watching. Be sure to tune in next time. Thank you.
Thank you.